Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to make a pork and pepper omelet. Now, the neat thing about omelets is you don't have to have a lot of ingredients in your house to make them. If you have some leftover vegetables and maybe some leftover steak, pork, or chicken, you have yourself an omelet. I mean, heck, you can just have some eggs and some cheese and you have yourself an omelet. Now, one of the things I do every now and then is if I'm cooking with meat, such as steak, chicken, or pork, is I'll set a little bit aside to make an omelet the next day, which is the case of what I did to make this pork and pepper omelet. So come on, let's cook. And here are the basic ingredients we need for our pork and pepper omelet. As I told you before, I did make a dish. I made some pork stir fry last night, and I set aside about a quarter cup of pork for this omelet. I also have sweet red pepper. You can also use bell pepper if you don't have red pepper in your area. I'm going to use about a quarter cup of that. A quarter cup of sweet onion, yellow onion will also do. I'm going to add one jalapeno. Now, I always tell you that's totally optional. Some people don't like the heat. I happen to love it. We're also going to use 2 teaspoons of butter. We're going to use a tablespoon of water. We're going to use a little bit of salt and pepper to season the pork when we're sauteing that, or better yet, browning it. We have 4 eggs. And we have a quarter to a half a cup of cheese. That's totally up to you. So now I'm going to show you how to put this together. And the first thing we're going to do is prepare our quarter cup of sweet red pepper. So I'm just slicing off a piece, taking the core out and all the seeds. We really don't want those in this dish. I think I want a little bit more pepper than that. Let me just grab a little bit more of it. Okay, there we go. Let's get the core out of that. And then I like to slice this very fine. I don't like big chunks of vegetable in my omelet. Some people do, and I know when you eat out sometimes you get those big pieces, but to me an omelet is best enjoyed without a knife. It should be a food that you just eat fork by fork and then you have a nice brunch. I don't like to do a lot of knife work at the table with this. So I'm just cutting this into little pieces. There we go. I'm just going to put this in the bowl just to hold on to it. And next up we have our onion. And again, I only want a quarter cup of this also. And the reason I try to stick to around a quarter cup of some of these ingredients is if I make too much filler, it's going to be impossible to fold the omelet over onto itself, which I will show you very shortly. Try it this way the first time through, and then you can adjust it any way you want. And you can also, what's really fun with omelets is you can take some of these ingredients out and add other ingredients. You can do it any way you want. That's why I just love making omelets for brunch. So I'm just scoring the top of the onion, and I'm giving it nice little scores. Again, we're not going for chunky pieces. It almost comes out minced after we do this. And I also find that by mincing it, it spreads a lot more of the flavor much more broadly throughout the omelet, instead of, again, having these big chunks of vegetables to eat. And it really, really seasons and accentuates the pork flavor. That's why I really like this omelet with peppers and onions, a little jalapeno, and some pork, because of pork and the overall omelet gets seasoned quite nicely. So there we go. We just cut down the face of the onion, and we ended up with our quarter cup of sweet onion. And the other point I want to make again is that if you don't have sweet onion in your area, yellow onion, Vidalia onion, whatever you can get your hands on is just fine. Don't not make these recipes you find on Step by Step Chef because you're missing 1 or 2 ingredients. Always feel free to substitute whatever you like. And here's the reason I've been wearing this plastic glove the whole time I've been slicing is I don't want to get this jalapeno on my skin. These things can burn, and honestly, if you touch your eye, that'll be the last time you ever cut one of these, either without a glove or just cut it at a distance using a fork. So you'd like stick the fork in and cut little pieces off. So these gloves aren't absolutely necessary, but I just don't recommend that you come into contact a lot with your bare skin with these jalapenos. Okay, I just rinsed out the seeds. We did take the core out. I don't want a lot of seeds in this dish. And then I'm just cutting it into very thin strips. And the jalapeno is totally optional. Some people do not like the heat. And, if there's someone in your house who doesn't like the heat, then don't make it with heat, because they just won't like the dish at all. You're better off just going without, or making 2 omelets and putting the jalapeno in yours. I am just a nut for spice. And I really like hot food, so hot spicy food. So there you go. You can see we diced that up really fine. You can also use a little bit less jalapeno if you want to. So you can go from none to a fraction of the jalapeno to all of it. That's totally up to you, up to your taste. But I would also respect the people in your house, because if you put jalapeno in it, there is no way they can remove it when you cut it this fine. Okay, so there's our vegetables. I'm going to set those aside. And now we have our piece of pork. And this too, I'm going to cut pretty fine into little pieces. Like, I wouldn't want a piece even that big in this omelet. I just find that the flavor is just so much richer with smaller pieces of each of these ingredients. So I'm just going down the length of it and cutting into strips, and I'm going to cut it smaller than that. And if you have a piece that has fat on it, or a little bit of bone, I mean, honestly, cut that out and throw it away. An omelet is not supposed to be bone crunchy, and it's not supposed to be fat chewy. It's just supposed to be a nice, pleasant, fork-eating experience. And you can adjust the amount of pork. I think about a 1/4 cup of pork is just right, because it doesn't take over the dish. But if you are a true meat-eating, crazy carnivore, feel free to ramp it up. You can also make this omelet without any pork at all. If you're a vegetarian, I think you'll still love it. But this is our pork and pepper omelet, so of course it has to have some pork in it. There we go. So that's our 1/4 cup of pork. Now what I'm going to do is meet you over at the stove. Okay, so here we are over at the stove. We're going to add 1 of our teaspoons of butter. And this pan has preheated on medium for about 3 minutes. Everybody's stove is a little bit different, but that gets my pan sizzling, about 3 minutes of preheat. There we go. First thing we're going to do is brown our pork. And I want to make sure this is all well cooked through before I start to saute the vegetables. Trying to brown the pork with the vegetables in here and brown it well is kind of difficult, because the vegetables get in the way. And I'm adding just under a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Here we go. And then let's sprinkle it with some black pepper. So that nicely seasons the pork. Now, if you have some favorite pork seasonings you like to use, certainly add them at this point. I know some people would probably want to add some fennel or cumin, or some pepper, red pepper. I mean, just anything you want to add to it, the way that you like your pork seasoned. But this is the way I like it. It's a little bit simple, but I do find that when the vegetables are melding in with it, that the whole thing combines to just make this very tasty omelet filling. So let's give this a little bit of a stir as it browns. And this browning should take 3 to 5 minutes, because these are very small pieces. Yep, these are cooking up very nicely. The pink is turning to brown. And I don't want you to burn it, so you don't have to singe it or make it particularly crispy. You just want to make sure that the pork is cooked all the way through before you start sauteing the vegetables. Okay, and that looks nicely browned to me. Now I'm going to add the vegetables to this pan and saute them. Let's just stir those in. Now when the onions start to look translucent, when they get a little bit clearer, that means that the sauteing process is done. So while these are sauteing, and we will give them an occasional stir, I want to show you how to prepare the omelet egg mixture. What we're going to do is crack our 4 eggs right into this bowl, and if you see any shell fall in, certainly pick it out. And here comes our tablespoon of water. Now what the water does is it makes the egg fluff up. I find a tablespoon is just right. Under a tablespoon it's kind of flat. More than a tablespoon and it just gets way too thick and puffy. And the puffy egg becomes the story, and you don't taste the omelet insides as much, the ingredients that you put inside, the filler. So I really try to, restrain the water a little bit. And some people also, they love to add milk. They say milk makes it smoother and fluffier, but water's just fine by me. And then let's just beat it up. And as you're beating the egg, don't worry about getting this perfectly smooth consistency. You certainly want the egg mixed so that most of it is yellow, but don't worry about those little clumps that form. They're actually going to come in handy, the little clumps of clear egg. So just give it a nice whisking. Okay, that'll do it. Now I'm going to meet you back over at the stove, and I have been occasionally stirring our pepper and pork mix as it sautés. Okay, now here's our omelet pan. It's a fry pan that has been preheated for about 5 minutes, just under medium heat. So I'm taking our other teaspoon of butter and just coating the bottom of the pan. And make sure you get a good consistent coating all the way around so that the egg, when we pour it, the egg mix does not stick to the pan. There we go. That's nice and spread out. So now let's pour our egg mix in. Now what we're looking for with the egg mixture is for these little windows that you can see, which go down to the bottom of the egg mix. They look down into the bottom of the pan. When those start to turn white or yellow, when they just start to do it, that means you formed a nice bottom layer of cooked egg before you add the other ingredients. And that's sort of important because if you don't do that, then anything you add into this omelet is just going to go straight down to the bottom where it can be singed. I like to have a nice floor before we add our pork and peppers to this half, and we're going to add the cheese to that half. So just keep an eye on it. It takes about 2 minutes before you're going to see a little bit of opaque cooked egg through those windows. Okay, so after 2 minutes, I see the clear windows have some yellow or white underneath them. It's okay that the egg on top is a little bit wet. We're going to take care of that in a minute. So what I'm going to do at this point is add our pork and pepper mixture to half of the egg. There we go. And then we're going to take our half to quarter cup, or better yet, quarter cup to half cup of cheese and add it to the other half. Okay, so now what we do is we cover this and we wait. We wait about 2 to 3 minutes. We want the cheese on the left to melt fully, and we want to make sure that the egg that is on the cheese side and on the side with the pork and peppers, we want to make sure that that solidifies. It doesn't have to burn or bubble like mad. It just has to solidify, and I'll show you that in 2 minutes. I'll be right back. And 2 minutes later, let's take a look. Oh, that's perfect. That's what we were looking for. You can see the cheese is melted on that side, and the egg looks pretty solid on this side. There's a little bit of liquid coming out of the peppers, so you can't expect it to look concrete dry, but this is exactly what I'm looking for. And now what we do is we fold the cheese side over onto the pork and pepper side. There we go. Now, if that doesn't work exactly for you, the fold, the first time you do it, then just keep practicing. You will get this down. It is a matter of getting the spatula under the middle part and then doing the flip. And then this omelet is for 2 people, so I'm going to slice it down the middle. Now, if a lot of liquid came out of this from the vegetables, what I would do is just let it dry off over here, or I would just take the egg out of that. That is to be expected depending on the moisture content of the vegetables that you're using. But this omelet's done. So congratulations. Look at what you just did. You just made a delicious pork and pepper omelet. Now, if you want to see how to make other delicious omelets and dozens of other great dishes, please visit my website, thestepbystepchef.com. Now, there you're going to find recipes and step-by-step video for quite a few magnificent dishes that I'm sure you and your friends and family will just love. So I am Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef, and I'll see you in the next episode.